SmartTechAcademy. Welcome to another session of our program. We still have a few more people that we are waiting to join us. So please let's just give them a few more minutes. Let's say 2 minutes, and then we can commence. Good morning once again, and welcome to today's session. So let's just wait a few minutes, and we'll commence. Due to time, please do not worry. Feel free and would email and send an email to info@smarttech.ng, where we would respond to your questions. All right, so I'll just quickly introduce Biodun to all of us. Like we know, for those that were not here last week Friday, he is a software developer. And he has managed various products, software products, and he has engineered a couple of them as well, like Cerebral and Dockers, as well as some others. He's very well suited to teach us and take us through this session. So I hope we already have our laptops on the ready and on the go, and we have our stable internet, and we are in a quiet position. So right now, I would hand over to Biodun to take over the session. All right.
Good day, everyone. Good morning. Sorry about that. Welcome to today's session. I hope we are all prepared. It's promises to be packed with a lot of exercises or activity, as it were. And good morning, Samuel Chuko. Good morning. And okay, let's get right to it. Okay, so we're starting with CMS. We have an activity actually where we're supposed to recap what we did last week and also register a domain name and host it, like preparing the hosting place where we can have the practical session where we'll build a 3-page website, starting with the homepage. So last week we talked about servers, domains, DNS servers, and things like that. I hope we still remember. Domains help us to identify a certain information packaged together. Something like Wikipedia, that's a domain where you have all sort of information you can find when you're doing your research. That helps. You have Facebook, that's another domain for social media and entertainment. So things like that. We talked about server, we have file servers, nail servers, database servers, and others. And we also, I think I took you through cPanel, where you saw how to host a domain. We also tried to get buy a domain, as it were, which we didn't complete even, but then we went on that. So today we'll just be going further into website development. So first of all, let's register a domain. So we're doing this right now because it takes a bit for domain names to propagate. And what that means is it takes a while for it to be live. It takes some registrations and verification on the back end. So we'll quickly do that right now before we go ahead. So I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. And please let me know when you can see my screen. Can anybody see? Okay, good. So For the sake of this session, we are going to be registering on the free domain and hosting it on AWS. Usually, you'll be hosting your domain on a cPanel account, but I do not have one right now, so I'll use the AWS I have. So we'll just go through that. If you remember, the site is freenom.com. Just sign in. Sorry. Okay. So let's register a domain. Let's see, Smart Tech or Academy. Okay, no, Smart Tech Academy. Check. So yeah, you can do .tk. Okay, so we would want to change this DNS. Give me a second. So why I'm changing this DNS is so that I can host it on AWS without having to reroute traffic. So okay, maybe I should share the screen as well so you see what I'm doing. Please, can I know if the screen I'm sharing has changed to AWS? Okay, okay. So you don't necessarily need to disturb yourself with this. Yeah. You're going to be hosting on cPanel, right? But I don't have access to that yet, so I'll have to use this in place of that. So all I do is create a hosted zone. The hosted zone is the domain. So SmartTechAcademy.tk is a public hosted zone. When I do this, it will give me NS records. That's the name server. So I use this. Okay. Sorry, my system seems to be hanging. Give me a second. Yeah, so this is where we paste the name server we copied. This is the IP address of the machine that it will be talking to. So if you remember when we talked about IP address, domain name servers, this is how they are linked. So 0, check out. Oh my God, I hope that worked. Huh, okay, it timed out. Interesting. So let's just do that again. Sorry about that. SmartTechAcademy. So I'll just go back and copy the name servers. Sorry, what's the name? cPanel already helps you with all of this. You don't have to bother with this. Oh, okay. The dots at the end. Okay, so I'll complete this. So it's ready and it will be propagating. Oh, it's not showing yet. Okay, we'll come back when it's ready. So let's move on to our topic, our next topic, which is CMS. CMS stands for Content Management System, and it's typically used for enterprise content management or web content management. And enterprise content management typically supports multiple users in a collaborative environment. That means a lot of us are working together. Imagine all of us are working together on a particular project. So we can all contribute our quota. I write my part of the code, you write yours, and uh, it just brings us together collaboratively. It integrates document management, digital asset management, and then it also records retention. So examples of CMS, it's mostly WordPress, Wix. I don't know if you've heard of Wix as well. So yeah, systems like that that can ease the creation and modification of content. You can easily use to build something like a blog. That's what WordPress was known for initially, blogs, till it started becoming a system for building software, websites rather. So give me a second, sorry. So yeah, WordPress is what we'll be looking into as our content management. And excuse me. Sorry, I'm trying to check something. That's why. Okay, yeah, sorry. So WordPress is free. It's open source. Open source means it's open to anyone, and it was basically written in PHP, MySQL. That was used on the database. And the thing that has made WordPress as popular as it is right now is the support around it in terms of the plugins that you can use. So imagine having a blog on which you can put your wares, and also have a way where your customers can buy. They have an account, they can shop, and they can also pay. Most of all of this is done with the plugins that come with the WordPress. So giving a blog that kind of power has actually made WordPress very global and very, very popular. And it's very easy to use. Well, in the beginning, it might give you a little bit of headache, maybe because you don't know your way around. But they say practice makes perfect. So when you keep practicing and going around it, you will find a way around it. It's quite easy to use, and a lot of people out there are using WordPress nowadays. It makes you don't even need to have a coding experience. If you have a coding experience, that's a plus. I mean, you can tweak your plugins to suit exactly what you need. But even without that, without having prior coding experience, you can easily build a website like I would show you today. So I've talked about WordPress and plugins. Plugins are how would I put this? They are small softwares built into the environment to ease whatever you want to do. So, for example, we know of Paystack, right? A popular payments platform. So we could, for example, integrate a Paystack into a website. How do we do that? Use a plugin that was built. So the plugin already has a database structure. It picks on the accounts, that's each user, and there's a registration process for it anyways. You put your card in it and then you make your payment. So it just makes building things easy. So we will be building a 3-page website. So let me check if that has completely propagated so we can get ready. Huh, that's weird. It's not showing yet. Okay, let's check. Okay. Please, can you tell me what screen you're seeing? Okay. Yeah, so there is a tool called DNS checker, right? So what we do here is I don't know if this has propagated yet, but I can't keep waiting in silence, so I just have to check. So what you do is you use a DNS checker. It helps you look it up and see if there's any record. Oh, there's none right now. Okay, so seems to be taking. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thank you. SmartTechAcademy. Sorry about that. Okay, it's not finding anything yet. Please give me a second. Still not finding it. Okay. While we are waiting for that, okay, let's just play around a bit and let's talk about building a website practically. And we'll be using the SmartTech site, which everyone here used to register as a talking point. So if we remember in last class, I talked about something called IDA, which is supposed to be a principle you use in building websites. it starts with attention, interest, desire, and action. So I will be asking questions and I will be expecting answers in the comment section, please. I'm just trying to make this an activity till that is done. So if we look at this website, right, from top to bottom, what exactly drew your attention to this website? Was anything calling your attention? Oh, wow. Can you hear me now? Hello, Uchena. Okay, okay. Sorry about that. I think my mic was muted. Okay, yeah. So, uh, I don't know how much you did not hear actually, but okay, I'll just continue from where I stopped. We talked about the color. A lot of people mentioned the colors and the shapes, the sharp purple color, academy name, smart tech, the font attractiveness, smart tech, the attractiveness, and okay. You noticed the image. Okay, so I asked if anybody noticed there's an image behind. There's an image behind on this banner. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Someone said yes. Yes. Okay. But the major thing that caught your attention was not the image. It was the name and the colors and the shapes, right? Okay. So, well, the idea was now you need to know uh, what exactly the whatever website you are building, you need to know what the value proposition is and what exactly is the owner trying to sell with the website. What information is the person trying to pass across? Okay, someone said yes, and I like the image too. Good. Okay. I'll pass it on to the developer. All right. So um, the idea was SmartTech is in a different color, right? So that calls out to you. That tells you, okay, this is something techie, right? It is in a different color from the other texts. So you can see the text is bold, it's in your face. We want you to know the name, we want you to know what we are trying to do. And the text below gives a brief. So seeing this alone, did anybody just understand, or did you have to scroll down again? That's initially seeing this. Did you understand what the website was? Or did it catch your interest after calling your attention? I hope you can hear me. I have not gotten any response. Okay. I hope we're just not saying yes, please. I need like honest answers. So it's more of a review. So at least we understand how we would work. So yes, from Uche, yes, from Abigail. Good. So that caught your attention. It got you interested in doing something, right? Awesome. So when you scroll down a little bit, there's a text here. There's some icons dancing around, and it says we train technical talent to acquire skills needed to solve these 4 key areas. So this text now, right? It is okay. Tell me what you understand by this text, please. Just talk about that as well. Okay, Abigail said smart tech made me know it's a tech related program. Awesome. So we train technical talents. Tell me what it tells you, what you, okay. Smart tech trains people to acquire skills, shows the services they offer. Okay. Okay. And the icons, general IT consultancy, web development, it gives you a direction of where you're going, right? So yeah, oh, I should have asked this. I should have asked this actually. Um, so like how many or how do I ask this now? Help me. Uh, how many users? There are different kinds of users, right? Um, you're building for businesses and you're also building for consumers, right? So those are like 2 different segments of users, which is also part of what you need to know when you're building websites. I hope we're getting this. I'm not reading from any book, so I might not exactly be able to recall everything. These are just practical things that we come across, and we might not. We would have to relate with actually things we relate with. So if we look further down after the text, we see 2 different sections, right? One says, "Are you an aspiring talent?" This already tells you a message, right? Get trained and get matched. Most likely, yeah, this is the first thing you will see before you see this. Am I right? Awesome. Okay. So yes, get trained and matched is the first thing. Yes, because it is bolder. Exactly, Abigail. It is bolder, and that is what calls your attention. So why do you want to get trained and matched, or what are you getting trained and matched about? Now, when you now see this, it now tells you, oh, okay, it is for aspiring IT talents, and then that now continues to draw your attention. And how many people clicked on this button? I think apparently everybody that is here clicked on the button, because if you didn't, then there would have been no way to see the form you filled, right? So that is a practical example of the principles of AIDA. So there's first an attention, there is then an interest to stay and see more of what they have to offer. Then when you see more, it talks to you, it addresses a need that you have, it addresses a problem that you're trying to solve. And then there is an action that you take, which is to click the button. Even though after clicking the button, you still had to see some other things and then fill a form. But if the website didn't catch your attention in the first place, it won't be able to catch your interest. And there would have been no desire to even look at anything or even see what they're talking about. And then no action will be taken. So this will reduce the number of people you can reach. So I don't know. I hope you understand that. Okay. Someone is raising a hand. Oti, do you have a question? If you do, please you can type it. Sorry, give me a second. This is why I said we should do the domain registration early. Yeah. Oh, okay. No problem, Oti. No problem. I'm sorry, give me a second. Let me just check. Okay. So that has still not propagated. Do we register another? Okay. Okay, so sorry, this is taking time. So what we'll do is I'll just quickly use one that I have before, so this doesn't waste our time. But at least we've seen how to register a domain and to get it connected on AWS. We might not need that going forward. We will probably use it on the cPanel most likely. So let's just go forward. Wow, okay, this is actually going to be a big jump, because we would need to see how to, okay, give me a second. So what I want to do right now is show you how to um, install WordPress. So like I said, you might not be given the admin dashboard to the cPanel anyways, but this is practically how you would do it. The services. So we're going to the cPanel, which is where the WordPress will be installed. Said maybe we can wait for our domain to come on. Well, that might take some time actually. It takes a bit of time for a domain to fully propagate, and That is why I actually tried to do it in the beginning. Ordinarily would have done it earlier, but because I wanted to show you how it's done. So yeah, this is the cPanel. I think we saw this in our last session, where you have the file manager, sort of a file server, the database, domains and emails, security, where you have the SSL. That's why you have this padlock on the site. If it's not there, you'll probably see something like not secure. And I don't know how many of you have come across sites where it will tell you problems, something advanced, or go back to your dashboard, something like that, when you're visiting an insecure site. This is what prevents it. It won't be nice to serve a client with a non-secure site. So this is WordPress. As you can see, it's under scripts, the Spectaculars apps. So what we do is we click on it and install now. This will provide you with options. So you choose the version. Usually it's just leave it at the preset one. Choose installation URL. That's the domain name of the business. So be it believe.com, be it bioadditional.com, whatever it is. Yeah. So usually okay, I don't know if I've talked about protocols. There are two types. There's the insecure one, the normal HTTP protocol, and the secure protocol. There's something called ports. So imagine your house, right? You're living in a building and you want to go outside. If there was no door, there will be no way for you to go outside or for someone else to come inside. So that's what ports do on websites. They open gateways for traffic, sort of. So HTTP, which is the insecure protocol, listens on port 80. I don't know if you would have heard something like that before, on port 80. And if we're using XAMPP, we would have seen something like that, like ports and port 80, port 443, port 221, and things like that. So the HTTP sits on the port, listens on the port 80, sorry, and the HTTPS listens on the port 433. Yeah, so you could pick a blank one or add the www. Usually I add the www and I leave it on a secure protocol. This does not mean your site is secured. You still have to install the SSL. But what this does, it just creates an auto redirect when it's secure. So even if it is the HTTP the user visits, it will return them to the secure protocol. I hope you're following and I will not rushing. Please, if you have questions, let me know. And if you understand what I'm saying, let me know as well. Like I said, this is practical. So I hope we are following. I can take it slowly. Okay, I will, Abigail. Thank you very much. Oh wow, slow it down. I don't understand this. It's oh my god, I'm very sorry. Okay, can we talk about what you don't understand? Emmanuel, please, what is it you don't understand? Let me just, if you have a question, I will address it. Okay, Uchenna, so does the HTTPS you chose not secured? Okay, so I chose HTTPS, and I said why I did that is so that when I finally install the SSL, which is the secure server language. Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Yes. So I said I chose HTTPS so that when I finally install the SSL on the domain, yes, every time a user visits it, if he goes to the HTTP protocol, right, it will automatically redirect him to the HTTPS protocol, right? The SSL installation does that as well, but this just also adds to it, just makes it extra effective. So there is no situation of I visited your site, is not secure and things like that. I hope that explains it. It does not necessarily mean doing this now does not necessarily mean it is secure. So Emmanuel, I'm still trying to wait for your question to see what you don't understand, but I will be moving forward till you ask anyways. Okay, so like I said, your installation URL is your domain, and this okay, let's open the file manager. Sorry, give me a second. So I'll show you what this does, the directory here, the file manager. So our files, okay, when you install, if you install XAMPP or if you're going to install XAMPP, you might need it, so you might need to install it. So if you install XAMPP, that's if you'll be working offline, you need to install XAMPP, then install WordPress as well. Or if you're working online, you don't need that actually. So you would see a folder, public HTML. This is the folder that serves all your websites. As you can see, the folder looks, the icon looks different from every other folder around. So that is where all your files will sit. So if I were to create this installation on this directory, what will happen is inside here, right, it will create a WP folder as well and add all the files, all the content of this site into that folder. So usually what I do is I remove this because I don't need it to be inside another WP folder again. So if the WP is there, if somebody's going to visit your site, what the person will have to do is type that is blue.explorer. So the person has to type blue.explorer.com/WP. You don't need this when the person is visiting. This is what you would most likely see, except if you have cases of about, contacts and things like that. But outside that, you want your home file to reside on this URL. So that is why you would have to remove this guy here. I hope we understand that. Oh, okay, Emmanuel, you said you got lost in registration of domain and when you talked about WordPress and plugins. Okay. Emmanuel, were you following when I tried to register a domain? So when I talked about WordPress and plugins, I said WordPress is an open source CMS. Okay, since you saw that, I think that explains the registration. I don't know if you have questions on that particularly when you said you got lost there. But let me quickly talk about the WordPress and plugins. So plugins are what empower WordPress. WordPress was initially built as a blogging tool. So you just use it to create your blogins like Linda Ikiji and the rest of them. That's what it was basically used for up until plugins started developing. So what plugins do is, like I said, you have a blog, right, where you decide to post your products. So instead of having articles, as it were, your products will be the main things there, and you can decide to allow people to pick the products, add a particular number, that's a quantity of what they want, and make payments. All of this are done with the plugin. So you have a WooCommerce plugin that takes care of e-commerce. And then you have payments plugins like Paystack, like Stripe, like Flutterwave. Most of these companies have plugins, WordPress plugins. Your voice suddenly became low. Wow. I'm sorry, I don't know why that is happening. Is that same for everybody? Please let me know. Okay, it's not the same for everybody, so I'm guessing that is peculiar to either your network, Mr. Michael. So, okay, so yeah, so that's what plugins do. WordPress is already a content management system that helps you manage your content as a way. That's why blog is the most used example as it were. And now you can have an e-commerce plugin added to it that will help you sell your goods. You have Paystack plugins added to it that will help payments. You have some other kind of plugins that will help manage users as they were in a school setting and things like that. So practically anything you want to build on WordPress, all you have to do is just look for the right plugin to use. Once you can find the right plugin and you figure out how to use it, there's very little you can't do with WordPress. So Steve says, sorry, I don't understand the HTTP and HTTPS protocol. How do we know a secure site and an unsecure site? Okay, so I do not have an unsecure site as it were. Sorry, let me see. Man, I do not have an unsecure site, but usually, yes. In this corner, okay, let me open a secure site. So let's even just go to Google. So you can see this padlock here. This padlock in your browser would tell you the difference between a secure site and an insecure site. So if we try to edit this, we can see that there's a HTTPS here, right? So usually an insecure site will have just HTTP. And when you go to the site, the padlock will not be there. And you would have some sort of not secure written there. So that is the basic difference. And well, okay, sorry. If I enter this now, it will just redirect back. Shall you see? So if you try to edit it, that's gone back to HTTPS. So that's what I was saying about the redirect. So regardless of whatever the user enters, if I just enter this and I push the button, it goes to the secure site. Connection is secure, as you can see. Certificate is valid. This is talking about the SSL certificate. So I don't know if that explains it to you, Stephen. Can I get your response? Okay, cool, awesome. So let's go back to this. So we'll have a site name. This is usually going to be the name of the site. This is the admin where you, okay, so if we remember when I came here, let me log back out. So you have to enter a username and password. And this is where you set that, the admin, and this is the username, and this is the password that you enter. This will be an email from your hosting, and then you can either choose to install a theme with it or not. Then you click on install. I'm not going to do this right now because I'm not creating that. I just wanted to take us through the process of installing a WordPress site. So, and this domain has to be existing already. So if you can see, this is all the domains that you will find on this cPanel account. Where's domains? Domain yes is on. Okay. I should find domains here. Sorry. So just to show you domains. Okay. So here you can see them, the GPM associates me, blah, blah, blah. That's all that is here. That's all that you'll find here. So it already has to be existing and connected on the cPanel account, and then just install. Please let me know if you have questions before I move on. I really didn't get the procedures. Okay, so the procedures, Greg, what's the difference between Google Host? Okay, which I'll answer that. Give me a second. Installing a WordPress, I really didn't get the procedures. In installing a WordPress site, yes. First of all, the first procedure you need to have done, the first thing you need to have done is install the domain, or add the domain rather, not install. Add the domain here, so you can create a new domain. Steve.com. You will have bought this domain, mind you. So in case of the one we tried to buy from Freenom that they refused to give us, I don't know what we have done to them. So in that case, you just have the SmartTechAcademy, the TK here, and then you submit it. Once you do that, it creates a domain for you here. Once that is done, you can then come here. Let's go back. This is still your cPanel. Just scroll straight down to your scripts here and install. Sometimes because of network, yes, that's your internet connection, this whole script might not load. What you will see is just this Subscription app installer written here. Just click on it. You continue to see WordPress. So just once you see the WordPress, click on it. Once that opens, you're seeing an overview. These are all the WordPress sites that have been installed. But if you want to install, you click on install now. Add your domain name here. You pick it from the ones that are currently present. Remember to remove this WP. Else, remember when I said you'll be having something like, instead of going to google.com, you have google.com/WP. So you would want to remove that. You remove that. You change this to the name of the site. A description, it doesn't have to be long. You can still add the name again of the site. This admin account is referring to the login credentials you use when you're trying to build the website. You would have a back end, as it were, for you, where you can build what you want to build. And this every other thing is default actually. You can just leave it as default. You can decide to pick one of these themes, or you can install a theme later on. Just click on this install, and that will do it for you. I hope you get the procedures, Mr. Greg. So Uchenna, he said, what's the difference between Google Host and Freenom? So Google Host offers you the service of hosting as well as a domain name server. You can buy your domain from them. You can host your WordPress website, your C# website, enterprise applications, and things like that on Google Host. You just need to know what you want to host first, and you go ahead and purchase. But Freenom only gives you domain names. You can only purchase domain names on Freenom. That's the free domain names anyways. Michael said, can I create an active free domain on Freenom and have it added on add-on domain? Okay, so add-on domain. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can buy the domain on Freenom and then add it on your cPanel. Yes, as an add-on domain. And well, okay, you'd have bought the domain anyways. So yes, that can work. You will not have to do all. You don't have to go through the name server things that we did. It will propagate itself. It will change by itself and pick it up. So Uchenna says, is it possible to change the admin password? Yes, you can change the admin password. You can change it to whatever you want. You can change this to whatever you want. It's better you just make it a mixture of alphanumeric keys anyways with symbols, so it's strong enough. But you can change it to whatever you want, even if you want to just use password. It just tell you that it is bad, but you can still use it. So yes. Is there any disadvantage or limitation of using a free domain? Okay, so the disadvantage of using a free domain is one, it's, I don't know, the naming is .tk.ql. I mean, who uses that? You would either say .net, .com, .gov, .org, and things like that. So that's practically it. Using a free domain is mostly just for practice, actually. But outside that, there is no disadvantage, there's no limitation, as it were. There's no limitation. Any other questions? Okay, in the absence of questions, so simply clicking on install will run and install the WordPress for you, and then we can move on to this. So once that is installed, this is where you would have to log in. I already have my login credentials and they've been saved for me, so we'll just go right ahead. Okay, so this is not a blank website. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so I was trying to practice something. So what we'll do is we'll take this whole thing down and install. So usually when you install a new website, a new WordPress installation, you have it to be blank. This is the name of the theme I'm using right now, so that's why it's there. And some other options will not be available until you install the theme. So appearance will always be there, and that is where you see themes. So in case you didn't install in the beginning, that's while you're installing, you can easily just come here and install a theme you want to use. So like I said, WordPress is running majorly on plugins, right? And some of those plugins come in form of themes as well. So let's just take a look at some WordPress themes. Okay, so Omotayo Kazim says, please kindly give examples of host providers that give free hosting. Okay, I think I mentioned the last time you can host WordPress on Heroku. You can host WordPress on GitHub, but I know those are free hostings that you can use in case you're building a simple HTML site. Then, okay, so GitHub is not necessarily for hosting, but it offers you the platform. Heroku is majorly for testing, not used for big applications as it were. But yes, you could also have free hosting there. Other than that, every other hosting you have to pay. because you are buying space, you're buying so you're buying space, you're buying infrastructure, you're buying electricity as it were, and other things like that, maintenance. So you definitely have to pay it. That doesn't come free. So yeah, themes, like I said, as you can see, there are different themes. There are free themes and there are the paid ones as well. So basically we can just look at them. Okay, this does not, let me see. Okay, so yeah, usually you'll be able to preview what you can do with the theme. So it just gives a list of things. Give me a second. So usually, yeah, I go to the BP Locker to check for some themes I could use. I don't necessarily use the themes here for, I can only use them when I'm testing because they are cracked, sort of. And when you use cracked versions, you might have issues. Your site can easily be hacked and things like that. So you could check here as well for some different themes you want to use just for practice, anyways. So yeah, I already have a theme, but we won't be using one of these themes. What we'll install is Elementor, which has already been installed. Okay, let me take you through here. This is plugins. Remember I told you WordPress lives on plugins, right? So let's go to plugins. So starting from the beginning, advanced custom profiles, well, whatever that does. You have custom fields. I don't use it. I don't know what it does. Askimet, it's used to block your sites. As you can see, it's written blog, which tells you WordPress was majorly built for blogs anyways. So to protect your blog from spams and things like that. Bulby is the name of a theme as well, and there are themes that are installed. So you can see contact form. So in your contact page, this just helps you with a form. So in this form now, you can use it to collect information from the user where they give feedback or they want to contact you for something. So it sends a mail to you and to the user as well. You can always set that up. So this is Elementor. It's something called a website builder, a theme builder as it were. So it's drag and drop. I hope you are still following and I hope I'm not too fast, please. Let me know if you understand. Okay, Shana says I'm following. Thank God. Thank you. Thank God I'm not fast. Okay, Samuel. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, Elementor is a theme builder. It is drag and drop. So what drag and drop means is so I see how would I put this? Um, I see a rectangle, a box, right, that contains maybe something I need, maybe a name field, maybe for one of my forms, right? And I drag it and I drop it into exactly where I want it to be. So that is what drag and drop means. I don't know if we've had any experience with Dreamweaver. Has anybody ever heard of or used Dreamweaver before? Nobody? Oh, okay. Yes, yes, CS4. Yes. Okay, Hope says no. Okay, well, Dreamweaver is one of the earliest drag and drop builders uh, used to build websites. It was also easy to work with. Heard of it, but not used it. Oh, okay. No problem. We'll see some sort of semblance here in WordPress. So yeah, we have Elementor as a team builder. There's also Beaver. I can't remember the full name right now, but there's something called a Beaver. Yeah, there's a beaver. Yeah, it's also a builder and it's good. It's also good. So you can use either Elementor or that. Elementor Pro is also another plugin. It just gives you access to more functions that Elementor provides, which you have to pay for it. That's why you're seeing connect and activate here. I have not paid for it. That's why it's still there. I am not enjoying it as it were. So now look at this. This is G Translate. What this does is makes your website multilingual, right? And also available. It uses Google Translate. So like I said, plugins, any plugin that you need, whatever function you want your website to have, you need to look for the plugin that will fit in to help. So you have, this is from one of the themes I installed. I was trying out different themes, and this is also another theme. This helps you import demo content as it were. This helps your images. It generates a thumbnail so that your site can load faster for your images. And as you can see, this is the WooCommerce I mentioned. It's an e-commerce toolkit that helps you sell anything beautifully. So if we continue, if we need more plugins, you can always add a new one and come here and search. There are okay, let me say a billion, but then there are over millions and millions of plugins. So for instance, Paystack, like I mentioned, Paystack, WooCommerce, payment gateway. This is payment forms for Paystack. So you see, if it's a form you want that the person will use, you can use this. If it's to integrate it with WooCommerce, you can use this. I don't know if Flutter has one here. Flutter Wave rather, not Flutter. Flutter is a mobile development. Okay, so yeah, Rave Payment. This is Flutter Wave. So like as you can see, plugins for whatever you want to do. So we'll just go right ahead. Okay, so let's talk about this menu bar. This is anything you're looking for or anything you want to do, right, in your WordPress site. This is where you would check first. So you check here for all the menu and everything. Some things are hidden. That's why I said it might not be easy to use at first, but it gets easier. So basically, you have posts. Posts are things like comments on your website. So you have a thing like Naira Land where everybody's posting something, commenting on somebody's post and things like that. So you could use this for that. Slides. Not all of this will come with every WordPress installation, like I said. It's because I have installed a theme before. That's why you have some of this anyways. But you want the ones you majorly have, you have media, right? You have posts, you have the dashboard as well. These are comments, and you have contacts. This is where you have contact forms. You also have pages. This is where you have all the pages that you will build. The home page, the about page, the contact page, the WooCommerce page, your shopping page, your blog page, you have everything inside here. So because you have a WooCommerce, you have products, right? Analytics will come with it by default, and marketing also. And this here tells you I'm using Elementor as my default theme builder. You can have templates in Elementor. That is, you can have something you build and just keep it aside to use in a different page or in a different place, not outside this dashboard, by the way. So yeah, the appearance is the first place we went to anyways, but that's where you have your themes and you can customize your themes. You have widgets. Widgets are things like things that show previous posts and updates and things like that. You have your menu. That is the menu you see on websites. So the homepage, the academy page, SME. So yeah, you have all of that there. You have the header. It defines how this environment Okay, I don't know if we've had any prior experience in web development. Basically, you would have something called a header. Sorry, give me a second. Let me open. Sorry. Sorry. I'm trying to open. Am I a robot now? Wonderful. Crosswords. Okay. Let's skip that. Never mind. Okay, so what I wanted to do was show you some things. So you would have a header, right? And you have a footer, and you also have the main site. That's the main application itself, the main website. The header consists of things like the logo, the menu, if you have a search bar, and other things like that. Menu involves things like home, about, other things, login, and things like that. And every website has a logo. So that is, you'll find all of that in the header, right? And the footer contains things like footnotes, information, whatnot. All of this is the footer, right? And so from here, this point up until here, where this stops, is the main site itself, right? I hope we're following. Okay, okay, awesome. So yeah, that's it. You have the header, the main site, the body as it is defined in HTML, the body, and then you have the footer as well. So that is that. I don't use this background anyways, theme editor and the rest. You have users. So I don't know if anybody has ever worked on any application before, any WordPress website before, or has any prior experience. There's a way, so I can give people access to add to this site, to contribute to this site, but they will not have access to see everything. So for instance, if I want Mr. Uchenna Abu to only add images, I will create a user profile for him, right? Then give him access to only what I want him to have access to. So that's why you have the users here. You have the tools. It helps to adjust some things around. Settings as well would come with the default installation. So let's go on to pages. This is where we'll be doing most of the work. So as you can see, there's a blog post, and blah, 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 blah. There's a home page, another home page. This probably because of two different themes that I installed, and all of that, privacy, portfolio, parallax, all of that is here. So what we'll do is add a new page. So remember, we are trying to build a 3-page website that has a home page, an about page, and a contact page. So why we're building these 3 basic pages is because these are the basic things any and every website will have. So you have a home page. Sometimes your home page works as your about page as well. Then you also have a contact page. There's something called a one-page website. What that means is all of your information you display on one page. So even if I click on your menu, it only takes me further down to the section. I don't know if you've come across things like that when we've visited websites before. Anybody come across that? Oh, okay, awesome. Sunday, yeah. So yeah. So when you click on the menu, instead of going to another page, it just scrolls down to the particular section. So that is a one-page website. So it just contains all the information on the outside on one page. If you have to go to an extra link, maybe it has a different information for you. So yes, that's that. So we can have a title. Let's say let's call it index for landing page. So we will publish, it will become public. So everybody can see it immediately. It's published. If you don't want to publish it to the public immediately, you can change the visibility, private, so only site admins or password protected. And if you don't want to publish it at all, you can just save it as a draft. So I will just go ahead and publish it. So it's available on this. So let's check it. Let's see what's on it. Nothing. Okay. We would have to remove this. So edit with Elementor. This, like I said, the theme builder. So edit with Elementor. So if you remember when I spoke about drag and drop, okay. I need to change this. Okay, sorry, give me a second. Duplicate. I need to remove this theme that's causing this. So what we'll do is we'll go back to appearance, themes. Remember, when you want to install a theme, this is the theme. These are the themes that are here. Most of these are free actually, but if you're going to add to it, you probably have to buy a theme. So we'll look for a theme called Hello Elementor. Yes, this is it. So it's why I'm using this theme is because it works easier with Elementor plugin already installed. So I can just install it. And this is how you install a theme or a plugin as well. So it's installed. That is not all. It is still not live. If you look here, it doesn't change anything. So what you'll have to do is to activate it. So when I do this, this should change now. Can you see? That's changed. Can you see? So now I have a blank page like I wanted. So now we can proceed. Reload this again. So yeah, so this is here because okay, let me show it to you from settings. I think it's going to be in reading. Okay, no, not reading, it's general. Yes, so you see the site title that is here is what is here, and the tagline is here as well, right? So we won't want that showing here actually. So we can, what we'll do is we would hide it with this hide title. Okay, it's hiding this landing. Okay. So like I said, you would have to, as you continue, you keep on figuring things around it. So even see this one now is hiding something else. I thought it was going to hide on that thing. So title is out of it. Update. If you don't update it, it won't update. Just keep showing. So it's no longer there, as you can see. Let's go and remove these taglines. You can actually easily just remove it from here anyways, but there is a better way to do that. That is what I'm looking for right now. So if we go back here, it shouldn't show. So it's all gone, right? So it's all gone. We have a blank page, no menu, no nothing. I hope we're still following, please. Okay, thank you, Mr. Ochenna. So we have a blank page. As this is what you would have. You don't need to go through all of what I have done. All you might just need to do is install the Hello Elementor theme and install the Elementor plugin. So let me quickly show you that as well. Again, we saw how I installed the theme from appearances. I went to theme. For plugins, I'll come to plugins, add new, and I search in the search bar for Elementor. So yeah, see, it's Elementor website builder, right? So all I just need to do is click on it. This will have been installed now. You can update it anyways. You can update it. Doesn't really matter. It matters because it gives you access to newer things, newer features that have been added. So that is just how you install. The same way you install, you will have to activate. I hope you're following. The same way you install, you have to activate a plugin the same way you did for a theme. So that's that, and that will get you started on this basically. Okay, I believe there's a question. Is how do you get the blank page? Okay, Abigail, you do not have to worry how I got the blank page because practically, yeah, when you install the WordPress, you would have a blank page. I already installed some things on this which I had to take out. That is why I had to go from there to getting into a blank page. And if you ever have any issues, you have a website and a website like this that is not blank, all you just need to do is probably change the theme to something different, or that will deactivate everything that has been done before. So you just start afresh. Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, so let's try and build smart tech again. Yeah, you might not have all these gang things that are moving, no, but let's try and build smart tech. So it has a header, which is the menu. It has a logo, has three menu. Then it has this text and this other one. It has this purple background, something, and then an image behind, right? Then this is another section with content. So usually, if you remember from our last class, I mentioned something about UI UX designer, a graphics designer. Basically, you would either need a more specific person called a UI UX designer to draw you a wireframe or a design of how the website is going to look. That would help you to know what and what to put in place. It will be easier to build to rebuild this website because we already have something I'm looking at to copy and then go and recreate. But in case you didn't have any, it's better you create one for yourself. So just get all the things you need and arrange them the way you would want to present them. So when there's an agreement between you and your client on this, you can proceed to building the website. You can also just do your wireframe on your website and show it to the owner first anyways. So let's go ahead. We'll start with the menu, right? We have home, academy, and SME. So let's go and create that. We won't be creating that inside here. We would come here. Like I said, this is where you should come to look for anything at all you're coming to look for. So if you remember, we saw menu in appearance. So here it is, menus. So this is, okay, so I've told you about one page, right? A one pager, so that's what this is, a one page menu. But we would need to use the main menu. So when you select an option here, you have to click on the select. So it brings out the main menu here. If I go to navbar and I don't select anything I'm changing on the main menu. So I have to click on select first. So you can see this has changed to navbar. So want to work on the main menu. You can as well decide to create your own menu. So we create a menu name, Smart Tech menu. So where do we want to add this menu is what this means. So the display location is going to be the primary display location is at the top of the page. A secondary display location might either be the footer or somewhere around. I don't know if we've seen some websites that will have two menus. There will be a top level and a lower level menu. So that could be a different setting so as well. So we can just go ahead and create a menu. So it is there, but there is no page. There's nothing added to it. Remember, we created a landing page. This is it. So you can just add it to menu and you can see it here already, landing, right? So we can decide to call our page a different name. So we'll just call it the home. So that will now be referred to as the home page. We also want a contact page, but we have not created one. So we can create that one, or we can just hold on. Let's create it. Let's create the pages first. So we'll just add a new page. That is the contact page. And then we publish. So it's ready. We can go back and create another page, the about. So that is ready as well. So we can go over to menu and refresh. So now we can see the about page and the contact. So we can just click on them and add to menu, right? So in case you want to add, so this is for pages, right? In case you want to add a post for as a menu, you could have it here, whatever the post is. You could also have a slide, whatever the slide is, custom links. That's if the page is not on this site. So for example, I want my site to link to an external site, say maybe I want it to go to, let's see, Dangote site. Which site does Dangote have? Dangote.com, maybe? Because we are in business with Dangote. And so we want people to be able to go to his site from ours, or let's just pick another site since that one is taking a while. It's Dangote Cement. Okay, this one went fast. Okay, so we want people to be able to come here. So we can just copy this URL and come here, add it. As you can see, you copied it with HTTPS. So you can now have a name for it, Dangote site. Add it to your menu. So it's here. So let me save the menu. Now let's refresh. Where's our site? Let's refresh and let's see if it will show. So you can see you have the home page that is going to landing. So if you would, I don't know how big your screens are, but if you can look at the lower left corner of your browser, you would see a URL while I'm hovering on home. You see it goes to landing. If you see the next one, it goes to about. You see the next one, it goes to contact, even as a contact too. Then Dangote site, look at it, it's different. It's a different site. That's Dangote site itself. So if I click on it, it goes outside of our site and straight to Dangote site. By the way, we cannot put a back button from Dangote site except we know the person that built it. That'll help us to take us back. So if they go there, there's no way to redirect back to your site. But then it's there. You can use it to go anywhere. So I'll remove that from the menu. We don't need it. So you just click on it here, this arrow, it shows up and remove, then you save. So that's the menu. So our menu is ready. I have the home, the about, the contact. And by the way, if you want, you can rearrange this to come in this way. So if I save on my landing, I reload, see it has changed. So however you want, you arrange or rearrange and scatter and rescatter. So just in case you need that. So now our menu is ready, right? So we can go ahead and start building. So just to refresh and this. So we have it, the home, about, the contact. So remember when I said WordPress is drag and drop? Okay, please, which hosts should we pay so that we can have access to practice WP? Okay, so I believe we would have to answer that. Which hosting should we pay? So
Hi, who asked that? Hi, Uchenna. So we would be sorting out the hosting of the websites for this program. So you don't need to worry about paying for those. We'll sort it out from Smart Tech.
okay, there you have it. So SmartTech will sort out the hosting and you'll be given access to practice all of this. Cheers to SmartTech. Thank you, Bayo. Cheers to SmartTech. So what are we building? SmartTech, right? So let's look at this. With the exception of this top banner, right? We have this page, SmartTech, the logo, homepage, account, academy rather, and SMEs. But this will be our own about and contact. So we have this other thing all around. So that's starting with the background, the purple color on top, and then the text, right? So let's go into building it. Okay, I have to go back to the landing. So yeah, edit. You could have just easily clicked on edit with WordPress actually. Sorry, edit with Elementor actually. Sorry about that. So yeah, here we go. So first of all, we need a section, right? This section, let's create that. So this is the structure. So this is our section, right? Column width is going to be 100% for now. %. It's vertically aligned. By the default is usually centered, as well as the horizontal align. Horizontal align is usually default of left, actually. So we're creating an image that has sorry, I said an image, a section that has a background, and the background is the picture behind. So we would adjust the background here. There's a normal background type. So when you click on classic, you can either use a color or an image. So we'll have to look for an image to use. Doesn't necessarily have to be that exact same one as in SmartTech. So yeah, we could use this. Yes, this would work. So as you can see, you see the way you're seeing it now. If you look here, it looks like the image is in two places. There's two of the images, right? So we would have to adjust with all of these settings here. So position, we want it center. There's no attachment. Repeat. The repeat is what is making it. Okay, so if you look now again, okay, give me a second, sorry. Let me increase this. Give me a second, I'm trying to edit. Okay, yes, so minimum height. I'm trying to adjust the height so you see. So okay, give me a second. Sorry about this. I don't know why it's not. Okay, let me try and increase the padding at the top and bottom. Does not increase anything, right? Okay. What I'm trying to do is try to make it bigger so you can see actually. But we'll get to that anyways. When we add content to it to get bigger. So looking at this, you can see this looks like the image is in three places. One in the beginning, one that is filling it up, and one at the middle. Okay, I can actually add some things just to fill it up. Let's see. Okay, it's getting bigger. Not large. Sorry, I'm just trying to fill it up so you can see clearly. I hope you are still with me. Please. So the sweet thing about building websites is you would have bugs and problems to fix and things like that. You might fix it. Okay, so there's something I've not mentioned actually, and it's called responsiveness. Responsiveness is building a website for a laptop, and it can as well work on a phone. That is not what I mean by it can work is it is properly visible. Everything that is seen on the website can be seen on the phone as well, or on the iPad, or on whatever device. It just means adjusting things to the ratio of the screen. That's what responsiveness means. So yeah, you'd have to keep on working on that and making, if not, a user will not enjoy the experience on the phone. And meanwhile, another user that is using the laptop will enjoy the experience and be like, wow, this developer is good. But the other person will be like, which kind of Nigerian this thing is for? Do you understand? So I hope you're still with me, please. So yeah, as you can see, like I was saying for this image, you can see there's the first one, which starts from this side, and there's another one that starts from this other end. So we don't want that. So what we do is style, we change this size to cover. So you can see now the whole thing, the image is filling up the whole space. Repeat is supposed to be on no repeat actually, so it doesn't repeat itself. So even before changing this, can you see? Since I changed it to no repeats, the ones in front and behind are no longer there. So I can now decide to cover it up. And you have your background, right? And that's the image that you can see behind here. So let's move on. We will now have a background overlay. This is the background overlay, this purple effect you're seeing. This background overlay. So we'll create that with our own color. Oh, okay, sorry, it's a primary color. This is the first one, not the second. Yes. So we'll use some sunburn kind of something, some kind of effect on it. Looks yellowish. So mind you, right now you can't see the text, right? Because I'm using the wrong color mixture on the site. So part of why you have a graphics designer or a UI UX designer, or why you have to learn it by yourself, is so that you can build something people can easily see and walk around, rather than just building from your head. And if you don't know how colors match, then that might be an issue as well. Sunday, you said yes, Conga has that issue. What issue exactly, please? The one on mobile, the responsiveness issue. Is that what you're referring to? Oh, okay, okay. In such a case where you would have maybe some things shifting out of the screen and things like that. So I don't think we need a second color. Let's just fade it out. So yeah, see the orange part of it, the red part has gone out of the, so we don't need to work on the border, typography, no, nothing. So we can update it. Oh, okay, so this is the mistake. So you can see this is a gradient and this is the classic. This is what we should be using. So it covers it. So you can see now, because I was wondering why some parts was covered and not all parts. So yeah, you should also watch out. Some things just hide. So yeah, it's all covered now and we can update. So you can also increase opacity. Is what this means is transparency, how bold or hidden it is. So the when I go back, it reduces. Once it's zero, it means it's invisible. you can see through it completely. And when it is worn, it is full as a wear. It means you can't see through. The color is complete. So we'll just put it back on 0.5, which gives it a nice blend. We can see the color as well as the image behind. So why you do some things like this is, now if I had left this image, for instance, let me see, let me reduce the opacity. If I had left this image, for instance, with this text, your attention will not be on the text, it will be on the image itself, because the image has colors. You can see a red, you can see someone. You'll be trying to interpret the image rather than the text. And what I want you to interpret is the text. What I want, the information I want to pass across is in the text, not really the image. There are examples where you can use image that exactly represents your business as a way, or the business you're building your websites for in the cases. So if you do that, then it's fine. You will now have to find a way to blend the text to match it. But if not, you can just do this, and well, there's a fine background behind. They are not distracted from what you're trying to pass across. So, okay, so can a design be done and attached to it instead of editing here? Yes, yes, why not? That is practically what you're supposed to do. I am doing this because I don't have a design ready. I'm just showing you a practical example of how you can just build a website. So I didn't design anything, any image to use. But yes, please, you should. That's what is advised actually. You design your images in either Photoshop or CorelDRAW or Fireworks, and then you just import, and then you can just use it. It makes things easier. Safe. You don't have to be adding all these effects. You can do your effects in the design environment. So yes, yes. So we can update this, and when we check, we should have, okay, so we have this. So there is an issue here. Who can tell me what the issue is? Can anybody just yes? Okay, the font is not clear. Okay, yes, yes, the font is not clear as part of it. Any other person? Not well arranged. Okay. Okay, so what I thought we would have noticed is in the fact that we actually said this should be 100% of width, but it is still not 100% of width. I mean, there's a padding somewhere. So let's go and fix that. So this button I'm clicking on here talks about, it takes care of this particular column. It's okay, so if you can see, it's saying edit column. You can have multiple columns. You can duplicate, so you see it as added by the side. Or you can just add a new column and add your content. You can have as many as possible. It will just depend on what your site requires. So you can have that. So that it controls this, but this is the section itself. So it's, if you can see, content width is boxed. So we'll change it to full width. There are other settings, but we don't need them right now. Majorly, I would advise on WordPress, just focus on what you're doing. There are plenty of things to play around with, and some of them will just cause some issues if you don't know your way around. So, so now you can see it's full width, right? So we can continue. But if you look at the text, like someone said, the font is not clear and it is not well arranged. So let's take care of that. So if you remember when I was adding, okay, let me just take this out and add it in. So if you remember, I said WordPress is about drag and drop. You see something you want to use, you drag it and drop it where you want to use it. So that's why you have all of these tools that you can use, right? So what do we need? We need a big text, right? So let's go and get, that is a heading. Let's use that. You drag it from here. This is where it is kept for you. Drag and drop, and you have your text here, right? You can edit what is written. Smart Tech program, right? And we want it to be in the center. And what else? Want it to be very big. If you are familiar with HTML, you understand what H1, H2, H3, all of this means. So H1 to H6 is heading, but by sizes. So if I change this to H6, it is a smaller size. H4, it goes bigger. H2 gets, well, bigger, and H1 is the biggest. So that's what that is. And P is just a paragraph. Span is just it's a paragraph as well, but it's like an extension. A div is more or less an area, but you can't use that for this text, so that would not make sense. So let's just use H2, and then there's a style. So for almost every, in fact, for every tool you're going to use, every button, whatever it is, there is a style and there's an advanced part. There's the first one for the content, second one for the style, and the third one for the advanced part, where you have other things like animation and the rest. And then you see responsiveness as well, where you can take care of that. So let's go to the style. We want to change the color to something we can see. So white, the white looks good, we can see it, right? Or what color do you guys think? Should I use a red? Should I use a purple? What do you think? We'll go best. We are building this site together, by the way. Okay, white is better. Awesome. So yeah, judging from the color, and white is better. So we pick white. Typography talks about font, talks about the font, talks about the font size, font weight, transformation. This transforms talks about uppercase, lowercase, and things like that. Style, whether it's italic or normal. Decoration, whether you want to underline it or put a line through. And you have letter spacing, line height. So what we want is the font family, you can leave it as default. The font looks okay. It's the bold kind and it's in your face. So we want to increase the size. So, okay, these four things here, they are units of sizes. PX is pixels. EM is, let's see, I can't remember what the short word is. Okay, it's just EM anyways. It's a unit anyways for measuring width as well. you have REM. REM is like another version of this EM. Then VW is viewport. Viewport means your viewport now on your phone, your viewport is everything around, that's the screen, the whole screen that you can see and interact with. That's your viewport. On your laptop, it is the whole screen, that's minus the top part. So from this white part here to this, okay, let me remove this thing now. So to this base here of your page, that's the viewport, right? It contains everything. So where's that? Want to increase the font so it's big. Then what else are we adding to it? I don't think we need to add anything. Okay, letter spacing takes care of how wide it goes, right? So you can shrink it together, you can make it go wider, but I don't think we need that. I don't think we need that. So we can just update it. So we have one thing down, right? We need the second thing, which is 6 to create a better, okay. Let's go and add this. So that is, so what tool do you think we should use to add that amongst all these basic ones here? Anyone? Anyone? I hope we're listening to me or following. Okay, someone says text editor. Yes, exactly. Text editor. So that's what we're going to use. So you can see I'm dragging it and I'm dropping it where I want it. It can also come up here, but this is not where I want it. Where I want it is here, right? So even if in a case where there's a mistake and you drag it and put it up, you can still remove it, right? Can just remove it and add it at the right place again. But this is not the content that we want to type. Lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum. So we're going to write 6 to create better economic societies. 6 to create by connecting everyday small business. Every day. By connecting everyday small business. Oh, okay. Everyday small business with technical talent. We don't need to write everything anyways. You're just building a lookalike. So that's enough. Okay, so it's here. Now we would have to style it. So color, text color, white. We want to put it in the center, right? And typography, are we adjusting anything? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Line height just gives a bit of gap as it were. So we could add that bit just to separate it. And we could also increase the size. So it's a bit older, but okay. So we would want to reduce that right now. Let's reduce the font a bit as well. So it is not the main message we are passing. So it should be in a smaller font than the main message, right? So yeah, can update that. So now we would need to add padding as it were and margins to this guys. so they look more evenly spread out. So margin and padding, these are two confusing concepts, as it were. They are usually mixed up by people. Like a lot of people, even me sometimes, mix it up. So the difference is this. Now, imagine your house, right? The four walls of your room, right? That is your container. That's where you're building this text, this image, this website, whatever it is, right now. So what imagine is the space from the external parts of your building, of your four walls, to the borders, to your fence, right? To your fence, that's a margin. Now, the space between your chairs, your cushion, and all of that, that is like in the center of your room, to the wall, that is the padding. I hope we understand that. Does that clear it up? Please let me know in the comment section. Okay, okay. Any other person? Thank you, Mr. Stanley. Okay, okay, awesome. Okay. Oh, okay, I should repeat. Okay, so Mr. Greg, what I said is this. Now, your house, for example, the four walls of your room, yes? In your room, there are things there, right? Let's say your living room now. Let's say your cushions, your chairs, your table, and your TV, electronics, and the rest, right? Now, the space between the wall of your house, and all the items in your house is called the padding. That's the space that's the space between the contents and the wall. Now, from the wall to your fence, the space between that is called the margin. Your house, in your living room, right? The contents cannot go outside of the wall. They can only fill up the room, and then there might be no space between the content and then the wall. That means there is no padding. But then there will be space outside. Some people do not have fence. Some, the fence is very, very close. Some, the house is built right on the fence, and then some, the space is so wide. So that is called the margin. I hope you understand that. Okay, 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 cool. So yeah, with that in mind, we will now be adding margins and paddings to these guys. So this link here, when it is brown like this or gray like this rather, it means everything is linked. So if I increase this one, it increases on every other side. So as you can see, it increases both top, the side, left, right, and bottom. So you can see it just keeps increasing, right? So if you want to separate it, you can do this, and then you can have an individual. For the top, I have 200. For the bottom, I have 50 or 5. Okay, 50. And for left, I have 100. For right, I have another 100. Right? So now it's beginning to look better, right? So we'll take this next one and work on it again. We go to advanced, that's where we see it. So margin, do the same thing, unlink them and add a top margin of 10. That should be fine, or we don't necessarily need to, since there is this margin here, but you could leave it as 10. On the right, we'll do 50, and on the left, we'll do 50 as well. So it balances it out. We could also increase it so it shifts the text lower as well, but that's fine. And for the bottom, we could do 100, right? So we can save. See, this is beginning to look like what we have here, even though it's not the same thing and it's not as fine anyways. Then it's beginning to look like it. And well, remember I said something about viewport, view height, right? So we can adjust this. Layout. Sorry, give me a second. Trying to adjust it so it fills up the page. So 90% of this refers to 90% of the view height. That's your viewport. If you remember what I said about viewport, it's the total screen that's available outside of this top part of your browser and the lower part of your task manager. So let's go back to this and use sky to like 200. So yeah, it fills it up now. You can increase the size too as well to maybe 100 or something. So there's more going down, right? So updates and let's look at what we have. So this looks good, doesn't it? At least it's beginning to look like something, right? Awesome. Okay. So let's move on. So let's just say practically we finished this. Okay. Let's say practically we finished this page as it were. We won't be adding all of this effects right now because of our time. Just quickly take the basics. You can always add anything you want to add. Like I said, you just need to look for the plugin to use. So now we have this section. We train technical talents to acquire skills needed. Let's go and create that. So this is one section, like I said. So in a case, okay, so very good. In a case where you want to have a one-pager, like a website where I explained the one-pager earlier, where when you click on the menu, it just scrolls down, right? What you can do is this. So you click on this, right? Then go to advanced, and you would see CSS ID here. So you can simply just add home here, right? And in our menu, what we'll do is we'll add a custom link, right? And instead of having a URL here, we'll have something called an ID. So if you remember here, if you remember here, you have a CSS ID of home, right? So what we'll add here is hash home. Same spelling, same capital letter and small letter where you wrote it. Everything must be the same. So you can now have a text saying, let me see, home one or something. Then you can add it to the menu. So anytime you click on this, if you are maybe on a lower content, it's just scroll right up to this. That's how you do that for a one pager. I hope you understand that. Please. Oh, okay. Which one that says no? Okay. Let's just have a practical example then. Maybe that would explain it better. So now we have added home to this as an ID, right? Okay, let me add another section here. And oh, okay, hold on. Rather than doing that, let's just duplicate this. Duplicate it. So this is another section. Duplicate this again. So it's another section again. That's three different sections right now. So first one is home. Second one, we'll call it about, right? And the third one, we'll call it contact, right? So this is in case of when you're building a one pager. So now we'll go back to the menu and add custom links. About one, oh, sorry, please do not make that mistake. It must be this in the URL. So the name can be about one and add to menu, and we have contact, right? So contact one. So add to menu. We have all three, right? Save to menu, right? And have I saved this? Okay, yes, I have. I've updated it. So let's go back and check what we have. So we have all our menus here, right? And we have all of these sections, right? So let's see what happens. Interesting. How about contact? Goes to the last one. So do you understand what I'm saying now? Mr. Uchenna? Awesome. So yeah, that's what I'm referring to. So this is practically a one-page website as it were using this menu. So in some websites you would have seen, yeah, when I scroll up, I should still be able to see the menu. For some websites do that, some don't, just depends. So in the case where you can still see, if you're on this and you click on this home, it scrolls to this one. So even if you see as well like this, it still scrolls to this particular one. But it's not, this is the section that we are on. And if you would notice, there is this white gap here as well. This is because I put the viewport on 90%. So what it covers is only 90% of the screen. The remaining 10% is out here. You can make it 100% if you want. Just depends on you and what you're building. So I hope we understand one pager menu right now. Okay, thank you very much. So I'll just go right ahead and remove all of this. We are not using them. Oh, okay, I didn't show you this. Imagine, thank God for the mistake. So okay, let me even just ask, does anybody knows what will happen when, as I've done this? Can anybody just guess what will happen? If I say, okay, let me save it first. So as I've saved it now, what do you think will happen on your menu? Anybody? Not sure. Okay, any other person? Okay, in the absence of more responses, so I would refresh and show you what happens. A two-page, no, it's not a two-page counter. What happens is it becomes a submenu. So as you can see, it is a submenu on the home menu because it is pushed out right under it. So it becomes a submenu. It still works anyways. So that's what happens. So that is how you can create submenus. So in case of some shopping sites like Jumia, where you have a category and then you have other menu items under the category, so you can have all of that under it. So that's how that works. I hope we understand. No response. Is it that this class is boring or something else? Please let me know. Or is it that you're not understanding what I'm saying? Please let me know. Still no response. Okay, I think I know what I'll do. So, okay, so there are more responses now. I can't do it again. If not, I'm going to have to owe everybody. All right, okay. It's not boring. It's clear. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for your responses. Thank you. I'm grateful. Helps me know what we are doing. And okay, so let's go ahead and delete all of this. They are not what we would need. Okay, so now let's move on to creating this section. So like we did the first time, we add a new section first of all, and it's there. So what are we adding into it? A text, some icons that have text on them too. So let's go right ahead. Oh yeah, by the way, content, make it full width. The height, minimum height, use the view height, and well, so you want something that's small, not too big. So 35 is okay for that. Okay, this you can't adjust. Okay, we don't need a background as it were. Yeah, it's white. And no need for overlay. Advanced. We would want to add margins, but we don't know how we're adding it yet. So I think we can go right ahead and add what we need. We would need a heading. So add that. And what's the heading says? Okay, so you could either use a heading or a text editor here in this case. I'm using a heading because it already allows me type something that is this big without having to adjust so much. So that's why I'm using the heading. You can as well use a text editor, whichever one works for you. So if you can just copy this, that will help us rather than type and type and type. Okay, so let's go and add it here. So it's here already. We want it centralized and we want to change the color. So we'll go to style. I think it was the blue color, deep blue. Oh, actually, so another thing about building websites, actually, I might have failed to mention this. Even though your designer would have taken this into consideration, right? You need to use, okay, like someone noticed about smart tech, there is a blend of colors. Uh, so many colors will not be so good, but having a right mix of colors, using shades and tints of that particular, of the colors would work better. And most times you want to use the color on the logo of the business, right? And there's this site I use, image color picker. So what this does is it helps me extract the exact colors from the logo. So what I do, I come here, I upload the logo that I want to upload, whatever logo it is. I pick it up, upload it here, and then it just tells me. So let's have an example. Any logo. Okay, let's pick this. So can you see? it picks out all the colors on this particular logo for you. It brings it out. The red is the dominant color, which you have here. So this is the color code which you will be using. This is very, very important. You need to use the particular color code. So you're not guessing which color to use or which mix to use. So this helps you. These are other relating colors that can blend as well. So this is a handy tool I use. Right. So why I mentioned that is because we cannot just pick any color and fill in for this guy. So we have to use a color that blends with whatever we've been using. And this is yellowish. So let's see. So can someone give us a color that blends, please? Oh, okay. Abidel says just a lot to take in. I'm sorry, Abigail. Yes, it might seem that way right now, and I can promise you it's because you are not practicing on your system right now. So as soon as SmartTech gets through to you on the domains and hosting, and you're able to practice, it will become easier for you. It will become easier once you can play around the environment. You'll get what you need. And so Greg says it's technical for newbies. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take it as simple as I can actually. I don't know, but if you have any questions, any difficulties, something you do not understand, please feel free to let me know. I will try to shed more light as much as I know. So please, can someone help us pick a color? I don't know colors. They said, okay, maybe Abigail. Abigail, help us with colors. He said, ladies know colors better. Not that they said, it is actually true. We've heard of different colors like nude and what other type, please? Fuchsia and something maroon red and something that is plenty colors. Okay, so I think dark blue blends with orange. Okay, cool. So Abigail says we can use dark blue. So let's look for a dark blue. Okay, dark blue or wine. How do I get a wine color? Okay, does this color work? Is it wine or ox blood now, or which one? Brown. Okay, Sunday says brown. That's also good. I think that will work. Okay, so which one says we'll go with the blue? Okay, you know what? I think I'll just go with this. Since we're not actually building smart tech, we're just mirroring it. Let's just try and use our own blend. Let's not take their colors. So that they will not say we clone their website. Okay, so I think this works. We will find out as we continue. Yes, so we have done that part, and there's another thing we need in the styling. Now we need to add margins and paddings. So we could add a padding to this. So we don't want this, we want this space to be more on both the right and the left. So we just adjust how we want it. And on the left, another 200 to put it in the middle. Okay, let's just make it 150 for both. By the way, your paddings on the right and left, they need to be equal. So it's not shifted to one side, it's not imbalanced. Right, so we have this. Oh, okay, we actually have more things to do because here the text is bolder. So let's adjust that in typography with the weight. So we can, if you see, if I reduce to 100, see how thin it is. If I make it 600, see how thick it has gone, and 900 is the thickest as it were. So we don't need to transform it, and we don't need to style it. We can maybe add a little bit of letter spacing so it doesn't look all jam-packed. So I think this is good. What do you guys think? Cool, good, okay. Yeah. Too old. Mr. Uchenna, I do not understand what you mean by, oh, too bold. Okay. Okay, let's reduce the boldness to say 700. What do you think now? Is this better? Okay, so what does every other person think? Better, right? Awesome. Cool. Yeah, so that's good. We have that down. We can update and look at it. Look at what it looks like. So ordinarily you won't be seeing this part when you're visiting the website in a different browser. It's because you are the one building it and you're logged in as the admin. That's why you're seeing this tab. But your users will not see this. So don't worry about this part. So they will most likely see just this down. So we train technical staffs. Awesome. Awesome. So we need the 4 icons now, right? Let's go ahead and add them. Let's see something. Oh, okay, it's doing it top. See, left align again central. So, like I said, you will have to be figuring things out as you build. So, one of the things I'm trying to figure out right now is if I can make them stay horizontally rather than vertically. Remember, this guy is horizontally arranged. So it's supposed to be something about the width, which is not here in any way. Oh, okay, this one is different. Okay, so let's see. Like I said, plugins, if there is something else you can use it to make your work easier. Or what we can do is add a different row again, right? Yeah, we can do that. So let's delete this and let's delete this. Yeah, so we can just have something that's divided. So you can see this is already a 4 row kind of thing. So we can easily just add our icons here. So that will work. Can we have the name? Okay. What kind of icons do we want to add? I think you can also add, okay, so remember when I mentioned plugins, you can also find icon plugins for your website. So you can, this is Font Awesome that was added already. So you could use Font Awesome, which is like the most used font resources for things like this. So what general consultancy? This is a headphone. So let's start by typing headphone or something. Okay, so see headset, we can insert that even though it looks different. Then we style it. What color do we use? What color will blend? I think I've asked that before, Abby. So let's try blue, deep blue. Does this work? Please let me know if you think we should use a different color. Okay, the deep blue works here. Okay, so the deep blue will be our secondary color. So we can increase the size of the image. This is if you want to rotate it. I'm not interested in rotating it. So then when you hover, you have a hover animation. What do you want it to do? So pulse, this is a pulse. You want it to push, so you can see that. That's the animation. Say someone says, sure, there won't be too much of colors. Well, we would have to correct that if there are too much of colors. We can't present a site with plenty colors to a client. So even if at first we don't know what we are doing, we can still do, and then when we are done, we'll adjust, right? Okay, so Abigail says, I think the 3 are fine. So yeah, I think we can just stick with these 3 now. So our primary color will be this, and our secondary will be this, just like SmartTech did. This is their main color, the primary, and this is the secondary, right? So you can do that. So let's okay, so push is good for the hover. We can go ahead and add another icon. What's the second icon? Web development. This sort of a chip, as it were. So let's see. Icon. And then let's search for like a computer chip or something. This is a microchip. Let's see if you see something else. No. Okay. But just in case, I'm only using this right now. Just in case, you will need to find something that represents equally with what you want to represent. I hope you understand me. So, yeah, we can actually do this. Excuse me. Delete, duplicate, and just drag it here. Why I did that is so that this maintains the same settings as this. So all I just need to do is change the icon. See? So maintains the same settings. You can just duplicate it inside here, drag it, and drop. Like I said, drag and drop WordPress. That's all you need to do. Drag it and drop it where you need it. So what's the next one? Digital sales. She will not call them and ask them what they used to do this now. Okay, so connect. Okay, we can use this. It's written connect develop. Insert. And what's the last one? ERP. Okay, I think I know what that is. This is let's duplicate for this and okay, at least we found this one. So we have the 3 icons, and the 4 icons rather. So now their names. Let's just add a text editor, and all of this will be the name: General IT Consultancy. General IT Consultancy. Okay, so We want to style it, put it in the middle. Okay, tech icon for which exactly? If for this, there's no tech icon. Sorry. Okay, I won't worry, Mr. Uchenna. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're dealing with this, the text. We want to change the color as well. So we're supposed to use the main color that we used here. Let's go back here and pick that color. This is it here, just in case. So you can easily just copy the color and come back to where you need it. And then you paste it here and it works. Right? So the same way we did for these guys, we can just duplicate and drag and drop. Yeah, text is usually hard to pick sometimes, yeah. So duplicate and then duplicate and then add. So second one is web development. Web development. The next one is digital marketing and digital sales and marketing. Oh, it's actually thicker. Okay, let's make ours thicker as well. Typography. Weight, remember. Yeah, 500 is good. I think. What do you guys think? Yeah, okay. Cool, thanks. So let's continue. Digital sales and marketing. Digital sales and marketing. So make it bolder. 500. And what's the last one? ERP and automation software. ERP and automation software. So let's add this and update. So we finally have that. Let's can look at what it looks like here. So this is what we have. It's beginning to look like this, right? We can't go further down because there's no content down there actually. So let's move ahead. I think it looks good. What do you guys think? Remember, we're building this together. Oh, okay. 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 Sorry, Abigail. You said like 600. I'm just saying that. Sorry, maybe next one. All right. So let's move forward. What's next? Aha. So we have an image, a content, and another image, and they are not in this, they don't have the same size, they're not proportional. So how do we do this? How do we build this? So let's go. We'll add another section, 3 this time around, right? The first one has an image, and it's not as big. So let's say 20%, right? By the way, all I did was, after creating that, okay, so let me show you again. All I did was select the structure, I selected this guy. It's all equal, right? But there is this line here you can just use. So I used that to shift it. So that's what I did to get this, in case you didn't notice. The icons, if looks like it's animated. Yeah, they are actually animated. You see this? So for Smart Tech, see it's a different animation. You can pick whichever one you want. So it's still kind of like the same, just a different effect. I don't know if that's what you mean, Mr. Sunday. Okay, yes. So you can pick any animation you want. So yeah, it has the effects. So you're welcome. So yeah, our image, as we said, our next session, this section. So this is the biggest of them all. Less than make it bigger. So about 43%. Good. Should be 23. Okay, so this should work. So now what we need is for this tool, we need images, right? So let's add them. We have an image here. So we can add it and choose the image we want. Thank God there are some images already on this side, this space. So we can just pick one. And another thing you also need to just continuously consider, there are a lot of things. Another thing is the aspect ratio. So you can't imagine putting an image that is wider. That is, it is, how am I going to put this now? It's wide, I believe you understand what wider is anyways. So we can't put an image that is wider in a container that is supposed to be longer and expected to fit. It won't work properly, right? It won't work properly. So usually we would have our graphics or UI UX person, or even you yourself, just create an image for yourself and adjust the aspect ratio to what you need it to be. So okay, these are all squares, and I am actually looking for an image that is longer. Okay, so this might work. Okay, this will work. This does not exactly interpret the purpose, but it will serve. I hope you understand me. It doesn't exactly serve the purpose, but for now, we can just use it. So it doesn't define any of all of this. Advanced, okay, does it have any effects? No, it doesn't. So we can just move ahead to the next one. Let's see. No, nothing. What else? Okay, so we can make this 0 and this 0 as well. So it fills it up. So, okay, if you notice, let me change that back. So if you notice, when I added the 0 here, it fills up the whole space on the inside. So that was what I was referring to as padding, rather, excuse me, as padding. So I hope we have seen the proper example of that. So this line outside, this space here is going to be the margin for it, even though there's no margin as well right now. And you won't see any changes right now because there's no margin. That's why I didn't see the change. So I hope we are getting this. I hope we are all following and it's not confusing. Okay, Uchenna, all these icons and images, they come with Elementor plugin. No, the icons and images are there because like I said, I already installed a theme, a different theme. I installed like about 2, 3 themes that I was trying out because I wanted to see how they will work. So I don't just use them. Yeah, so that's where the images come from. Usually you'll be the one to add your images and you can add them here, media. So you just add new. Then you can drag as many as you want, but the maximum file size of all of them should not be more than this at once at least. So just add them here. So that's it. The library, this is all the images that have been added. This is from one site. This is a logo from one site. This is another from another site. Another theme rather from different themes. So that's it. That's where you have the media. So let's continue. We're going to add an image on this side as well. So add, and we can use which one? So you cannot directly from a site add. I'm not sure I understand your question, Emmanuel. So you cannot directly from a site add. They will. I don't understand your question actually, but if I'm thinking about it, what I'm thinking you're saying is there will be no image present. Can you directly from a site add? Okay, so I still don't understand that, but no. If what you're saying is from another site, you directly link the image. No, not exactly. Where you can do that is in a case where you're using an image storage facility like Cloudinary. Cloudinary also has a plugin. So once you install the plugin, all your images in Cloudinary, which is actually a good practice, having all your media in a separate place from your website, it makes your website load faster. So instead of having heavy images on your site, everything is outside of your site. Your site loads, and then the images are loading from an external point. So that's Cloudinary is an example of an image facility storage, and it is free. So if that is what you mean, I think that should answer that. Please let me know. Okay, yeah. So you can use Cloudinary to store your images and then link it. Yes. So if that's what you mean, yes. Okay, so let's continue. Okay. Image added. Then we need to make sure there is no padding. No margin as well. Don't need to adjust. We don't need to adjust this, do we? So this just spoils the aspect ratio, as you can see. So never do this for your site or for your images. So all we can do is we can just try to adjust this guy a little to give you room. Since we cannot pick either to cover. Okay, so that's that. And now we need to add this. There is a different background, is gray, and this text, and then a button. So let's do that. First of all, the background, classic, and a color. Okay. Okay. So that's good. Let's proceed to add the text. So we can have our first heading. And what does that say? Are you an aspiring IT talent? Remember, it's supposed to be small. And we're going to use our main color. Or I think that was secondary, yeah? Okay, secondary color, which is the blue. Like I said, you can always just go back and pick the color if you don't know the hex code. It will also be nice if you have it written in a text pad somewhere that I can easily just copy. So typography, the weight is okay, I think. Transform, no need, no need, no need. Okay, so that's good. And what else? We don't need a shadow. But then we need some sort of margin at the top. So let's see 50 or 90. Okay. Yes, we'll go ahead and add like a 10 at the bottom. So next is our second heading. And what does that say? Get trained and matched. Okay, this image has some space, but no problem. It's all good. This should be the main color. Should we drop it a little? So okay. So if we do that for that, it means we should also drop this. So I think this works, right? What do you guys think? Okay. All right. So we have this text. Let's add this. That will be a text box. I don't know why that was misbehaving. Below. Yeah. Okay. So as you can see, there is no space between this text and this guy, which is not the same for here. So let's correct that. Starting with this, reduce the top. Right. Okay, no, let's leave it. Let's move on to this. Make the top 20, or let's say 10. Then the bottom 30 to give it that space. So it's not jump out. So let's do 25. So it's not too much. So I think that works. And let's now change the color of this so it blends. Rather than using That's black. That black was kind of sharp and in your face. So this is a little dull and easier on the eye. Okay, so let's add harden at the bottom. Yeah, like that. So it has some space. So we need to add the button next. Let's look for a button and add, right? So the button is supposed to say what? Learn more. Let's just put learn more there. Because of our time, I'm sorry, it has taken our time. So here will be the link to whatever you want it to go. Be it the Dangote page that was there before, or something else, or another page entirely, or you want to scroll down, like you can see the hashes there already for you. So you can have that. And you can decide where the button stays. You can also add an icon to it if you want. You might have seen some buttons that look somewhat like this, right? Something like this. So that's what you do. You add the icon there. So can go ahead and style it. The text color can remain white. We use our main color as the background. So that's our background. Generally, yeah. When you use red on a button, it tells a different, it gives a different impression from when you use green or when you use blue and other colors. So colors are something you need to be aware of and the kind of information they pass as well. So yeah, you can have that. Then this is on hover. You can decide that the background becomes something different. Maybe this blue, for instance. So on hover, change the background to blue. But when I come here, okay, so this tells me there's something I can do with this, right? It gives me an idea that there's something to do there. Okay, they have been input. Sunday said it can be bigger. Yes, you can make the button bigger. A little dark. The text should be a little darker. You don't usually use dark on dark, actually. Else, they will both be fighting for space and who is going to be darker. I don't know if you understand me, Emmanuel. Usually you do a light on dark or dark on light. So someone said, Abigail said, third image is not on the same level as the first two. Yes, it's because of the aspect ratio. Uchenna said, align the font to center. I don't know which font you're talking about. Uchenna, which the font of what text exactly? Use first, second, third, and fourth if they need be. So just so I know what you're talking about. All of them to the center. That's not what Smart Tech did now, is that? No, this is left aligned. But if you want on your site, you can as well do that. You just go here to the content. Is it content or style? Sorry, let me check. Okay, so that should be style then. Yeah, so style. You can make it left, you can make it center, right, justify, whichever one you want. Justify you would be better actually, that would be advised. Let's save it. Let's save it and see what we have been doing since. So, can anybody guess the issue? Why this thing is like this? See, it's choked up in the center. Anybody? Okay, so no. Okay, so we have resolution. I think I understand. The word is not resolution actually. I understand you. Yeah, you're right as it were. We didn't increase this guy to be full width. The content width is what we didn't change to full width. So let's update and let's go back and see. So now we see the difference, right? So full width is what we didn't do. And this white space around is because the image is not perfectly aligned with it. So we'll need to get images with the right aspect ratio. This is just one of the issues that we're facing right now because we don't have that. So, but if you look at this side, everything is sort of so close to the borders. So let's correct that. And let me see. Okay, just have two more sections basically to build. All right. I'm sorry about the time we're taking. You can't just build a website in 1 hour and see yourself. So sorry, let's just go through this. So let's correct this first of all. And we want this to increase. Okay, I think I should adjust it from here then. And this is what is taking space. Change to 50. Okay, that's good. Reduce this to 15. Okay, so it's aligned now. So now let's move to the content. So padding, right padding, let's unlock. So 50, left padding to 50 as well. Don't worry about this. We'll see the effects later. And then the button, okay, you can leave the button, and just in case you do not want to update before viewing the page, there you can preview the changes. So once you click on this, what you'll be seeing is the live what you did. Right. Okay, so you can see it is now inside. So we'll still have to adjust it so it looks much better, right? So let's quickly do that. 50 is too much, so let's say 20. Same with this, 20, 20. Let's increase this to 70. and reduce this to 20. So let's preview. Looks much better, but then let's push it down a bit. See, everything just looks upwards. So let's do that. Increase it back again to 90 and 100. So this has changed. So yeah, it looks more centralized now. So you can have your button here, learn more. So we will not be recreating this section. It's practically the same as this anyways. Oh yeah, okay, so I've not styled the button and all of that. So let's quickly do that. So as you can see, this place is curved, right? So we do that with something called the border radius. We're not going to use any border type. Using this will add a different border to this. This doesn't have a border right now. So what we'll just do is just change the border radius and we'll increase it till we get, so we've gotten what we desire. See? So it's now looking like a PO as it were. So I think that covers that, right? Okay, sorry, I'm trying to see something apart from this. Okay, yes, so that's it. So we won't be doing this section. We'll just jump right to this contact form for the home page. So a different section. And what is the content? Okay, there's this and there's this. Okay. So we have this section, first of all, then have a different one. Okay, sorry, delete this first. What will go in there is got questions and contact us using this form below. So let's add the heading. What is that? Got questions. Got. I hope we are understanding this and as well enjoying the session. Please let me know, stop me if you are confused or need clarifications. So got questions, we need to centralize it. We need to make it thicker. So let's try 600. Okay, that's not enough. 700. Okay, I think that's quite thick enough. Color, for color we will use which one? Our main color, which is the red. Copy. So use it. And what else? Okay, contact us using the form below. That's another heading. Okay. You can just duplicate this anyways and change the text. Contact us using the form below. Yeah, you can change this to H5. Okay, add the spacing, margin between it. At the top, yes, a few pixels, and at the bottom, a few more pixels. And then we'll now change the color to a neutral color, just to give it that blend. So it's not far from white, it's not far from black. Let's change this width back to 3. Okay, 400 is good. 400 looks good. So can update and let's see. It looks like got questions. Okay. So as you can see, if you look through here, you can see that this section and this other section, there's a wide gap. But here, there is no gap because we've not been adding the gaps to our sections. So let's just correct that right now. That we remember. So advanced margin at top. You can set it at 25 for both. Let's update and see what it looks like. So yeah, there's space. You can increase it again just to make it look better. Let's go for 40. So this is good enough. At least you would understand the different sections. So let's kind of build our contact form as it is here. So we can add another section 2. And what is here? There's a background right here. So we have a background we can use. Okay, let's try and use this. And it is there. Okay. Remember, we have to make sure it does not repeat itself and it's properly aligned. So no repeat, and make sure you set it to cover. We don't need the background overlay, we don't need the border, we don't need the shape divider, and we don't need this either. So we can update that, and then we'll add our contact forms. So let's see. This is a form. Oh, we need, this is under Pro. So like I said, you have to have activated the Elementor Pro to use it. So as you can see, it comes with a form that you can also add. So I'll work with that. But we can't use that, so we would have to look for something else to use. Forms. Well, all the forms will have our Pro. So what we can do, remember what I told you, WordPress. WordPress is built on plugins, right? So what we can do now is use something called a shortcode. But before we do that, let's go to our contact forms. So remember, I told you if you're looking for anything, come to this dashboard. You'll most likely find what you're looking for. These are already contact forms that have been built. And remember I said something called shortcode. This is an example of a shortcode. I'll show you how this will be used just now. So we can create a new contact form. We can use some of the default ones that are there, but we can also just create our own. Don't worry, this looks gibberish, right? It looks something you don't understand. You don't understand how all of this is working, but you will as soon as you get working with it. So in this form now, yeah, you have your name, your email, subject, and message. Those are the major things people will want to collect. Some might add phone, right? So if we were to add phone, we would have to just copy one of this, like we want to use subject, right? We can copy it and paste it where we want. So this will be used to collect the phone. This can't be subject. We'll have to change it to phone, and I'll tell you why soon. So I will save. Now, I told you the contact form, right? It is used to collect information, feedback from the user. The information, the feedback you're collecting will be sent somewhere, which is your mail. It will either be sent. So in cases like where someone makes a purchase, right? I, as the owner of the website, will need to know, and my client, as a customer, would also need to get an email of just of the transaction he just did. So you can set that all up here in the email part, right? So some things already come predefined anyways, but you can see now this phone is here boldly without me adding it here and saving. Okay, let's just change this now to test and save. So let's go back to mail again. So can you see that's changed to test? So what this does is it ties down the input field, right? So this field here that the person is going to put in his name, it is tying it down to this tag, name, your name. So by the time you submit it, I don't know if any one of us has worked with PHP before or any framework or any language like that for development. You hear of something called IDs and classes and things like that. So this particular ID ties the input, that is whatever you type in that box, like this smart tech now. So whatever I type here is tied down to this particular ID, your name. Same goes with email and phone, which we have changed to test. Let's change that back. And subject and then message, right? So, excuse me, in your mail, now, if you look at this, there's a from, there's a subject, and there's a message body. This is, well, most of this will be predefined already, so you don't need to touch all of this. This will come with the default email on the account, and a from will be defined as well. So this is where you just need to focus. You're already collecting the name, you're collecting the email, and you're collecting the subject, then the message. Well, we've not collected the phone that we added. So we'll just come here and type phone. And then the same way we have this square bracket, we'll have your phone, the exact same way it was typed up there. The same way you type it here. So now if anybody uses this form, it will collect all of this information and put them here for you, send it to you, and you can create a second mail which will work as an autoresponder. So that is why I said you as the business can get a mail. This is the mail you are getting from the customer or whoever visits your site. Please, I hope I'm not talking too fast and you're understanding me. Please let me know. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, this is the mail that the business will get. And when you click on this, you cannot define a mail that the user will get. Do you understand? So that's how this will work. You can define whatever message you want here. Same goes for this, but I won't be using this right now, so I can just leave that out. So we can just save, and that is practically ready. So this is, okay, we've not titled our form actually. Let's give it a title. Say contact smart tech form. So yeah, we can now save it. So it has been saved. If you go back to our contact forms, we'll see it here. So this is it. So this is the short code, right? Let's copy this and let's go and use it in our site. So here is where we are supposed to use it, right? So let's see. Short code. So this is short code here. Add that. And then it's asking for what short code. Let's just paste. So can you see the form comes out as soon as you paste it there, right? You need to style your form. We might not be taking that in this class for time, for reasons of time. So we'll, in other classes, we can look at it in our next class and adjust it. But this is the form, and it will work when you send, when your user hits send, excuse me. So what's the next thing? Okay, the address and phone number. Let's just add that on this side as well. Advanced, we should add a padding to it so it's not just scattered or taking its own decisions. Let's say 50 and left 50 as well. Bottom padding of value 40. Top margin of 10 and a bottom margin of 10 is fine. So that just gives space to breathe, space to interact. So now next one. So let's update and look at what we have. Please, what are the different ways to add an element to a page? Okay, so it depends on the element you want to add in the first place. There are, like this contact form, you cannot add a contact form because it does not show here like the drag and drop, right? But you can use the shortcode method to add this. For most other plugins or things you want, elements you want to add, you can always drag and drop. For most other ones, you can always drag and drop. So I hope that answers you, Sir Manuel. So let's go right ahead and add the phone number and address that we wanted to add. We could do a text editor. Do we use a text editor? Let's duplicate this guy. Yes, and shift this all the way here, 50%, and let this guy share the remaining space. Right, so address will come here. Text editor. Address. 12 Araili Street, Badmos Estates, Paddington, Lagos. So let's change this to white so we can see it clearly. And let's make this bold. Yeah. So next is phone number. So let's go and add that. Now we could just duplicate this and drag and drop inside here. So this is phone number and My phone number is 09054556936. So update, and okay, let's add some margins and the rest. Bottom would need about 20. Heading, let's do 10 all round or 15 all round. Update, and let us see what we have again all through. So has it reloaded? Okay. Okay, this is up top and we need to bring it down, even though it's looking on its own anyways. So this horizontal align, let's make it center, and let's preview so we know what that did. So we don't just go ahead. So it didn't do anything actually. So see, that's why preview is good sometimes. Let's see, and let's try and see if that will actually change something. No, it didn't. So it's good to play around and test things, and so you know what you're doing. Let's see. Advanced. Okay, this is talking about with. No, we don't need that. So if we can get around that by adding like making it central, we can actually use the padding to get around it. Just we would only use the top and bottom padding. So let's give it a padding of 100. Oh, yeah, I didn't update. I don't usually need to update when I preview. Previewing just shows you what it is supposed to look like when you update. So it's practically saving without updating. That's why I could conclude it wasn't working. But yes, thank you. You can always update and check, but you could also preview. So okay, let me show you what I was saying now. So I'll preview it so you would see. So you can see that there has been a difference. I didn't need to save. Start watching now. Okay, so yeah, that's how preview works. You don't necessarily need to save. So let's just see what it looks like on this side. Okay, that's taking it far down. So a lot of times you would have to test and test till you get what you want. So when you do, you can then, okay, like for instance, this is still looking okay. It looks like it's at the center of the, so change that. So same thing, top 250 and bottom 100. So let's update it now and reload this. Okay, so imagine we already built one page in how many hours, even though it is not top notch and all, but this is something, right? So for today, because of our time that is fast spent, I think I will be stopping here so that it is not too much to take in for everyone. At least we should be able to understand some of the things that have been done. And even if we can't replicate at the first try, we should still be able to do something. I hope I've been able to convince you that building websites with WordPress is not as hard as you might think, and building websites in general is not as hard as it might be presented by some of us out today. So thank you very much. I really, really hope you did gain some things. I will be handing over to Believe. Believe.
Okay, thank you very much, Biodun. Like, wow, guys, I don't know about you, but that was a lot, and I'm sure that we enjoyed the session. And I don't know, I think I can see a couple of questions coming in. Someone said, don't say goodbye. We have to say goodbye for now, Sunday. We're having another session tomorrow, so just join us for that one. Someone is asking, do you use WP Locker as an inspiration?
Yes, I do. I use WP Locker as an inspiration. I go there and look at sites. There are plenty of places to get inspiration from when building a website. Or just Google any particular site or search for sites that have done what you want to do already. You'll find inspirations, you'll find different. Okay, so let me show you a site I built. I don't know if it's still live right now. Let's see. And I'll show you where I took the idea from. So this is a site I built. I don't know if they are still using it any longer anyways. It was supposed to be for an event. So this, looking at it, the image behind tells you it's some sort of road show. There's a road, people are traveling, you can see the bags and the bus. It looks like downfall. So you know it's a Nigerian thing, as it were. But that's that. And look at this now. This is the menu. So let me show you where I got this inspiration from. I actually took it from the Tesla site. I don't know if we know Tesla. It's owned by what's his name again?
Is it Musk?
Yes, Elon Musk. Thank you very much. Yeah, so if you can see, let's see. Wow, I think he has updated this site. These guys are just updating. So can you imagine? He has already updated the site again to a different thing. So let's see. No, that's not where I was going. Okay, yeah. So if you see this now, yeah, look at this. This is like a menu kind of thing. If you click on it, this is the one page I think I was talking about as well. So it just takes you to where you're going. Yeah. So that is where I got the inspiration to do this for this site. So this is home, this is the about, this is apply. So as you can see, you can get inspiration from anywhere, anything, any site as it is. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, thank you very much. Is there any other question? Sorry, dear Biodun, Uche is not male, she's female. Oh my God, I am very, very sorry. Well, I wouldn't know the difference. I'm very sorry about that. Okay, Miss or Mrs. Uche. Yes, ma'am. Is there a text step-by-step guide on site building? Well, I doubt there's a text step by. Well, there will be. There will be. It just now depends on what you're looking for. Step step-by-step guide on WordPress, step-by-step guide on whatever it is. So yes, the internet is filled with a lot of resources. So yes. Okay, so Steven said, thank you for today's class. Please, can we have a learning material for easier practice? I believe your learning material would have been your laptops and the access to start building, internet and start building as well. So yes, most likely by next class you would have everything ready.
Hi, Uche. Yes. Okay, hi, Uche. Yes, we would have the recordings for this one ready. It's easier to get recordings for Zoom than Google Meet. And once more, we apologize for not having that one ready, but you would also get it this week as well. But yeah, you get this one too. Beyond, what did you do with AWS in the beginning? That's where you hosted your website, right? Yes. So Uche, that's where Beyond hosted the website. Okay.
Okay, so in the beginning, what I did on AWS was to create a hosted zone. What that does is create, you're telling AWS that you need a domain name, you want to create a domain name record. So they should create a zone, a server that will manage it for you. So that's the idea. So I tried to get a domain name from Freenom, which they refused to give us. We'll probably sue them later on. But so what I did was add the name servers that was given to us by AWS on it, so that whenever I want to do anything, it just goes straight to that particular AWS account. So that was what I did. Create a hosted zone for the DNS server.
All right. So thank you, Biodun. I'm sure if I leave everybody now, we'll just be asking questions. But thank you everyone for participating. I'm really glad that we still have a good number of us that stayed till this time. And I'm glad that we were all, asking questions, trying to follow up and all that. So we appreciate your time. Biodun, we also thank you for taking out your time to teach everyone here, because I'm sure a lot of us here, we are newbies. We're still new in this game. And he has tried as much as possible to make it easier for us to build websites. So obviously, like he has said, it's not a one-day thing. It's something that you need to practice continually. For now, you can just maybe create your own maybe special domain name for now to just walk around and practice what you've learned. Like we said earlier, what we're going to do is for the businesses that you'll be matched with, we've already matched the tech talents to businesses. So for those businesses that would need domain names, because we found out that the SMEs we have, not all of them would be needing a website. Some of them already have, but we'll still find a way to make sure that everyone in one way or the other is working on a particular website. So we would get those domain names registered from our end, and we'll also host them. Thanks to SmartView, we'll also host them, and then we'll give you guys, we'll give you the details for the website that you would be working on. So please be on the lookout, especially on the group chat for that. We'll be updating everyone with that very soon. So if you've got any more questions, don't forget to maybe send a message on the WhatsApp group or send us an email, and then we would let Biodu know about it, and he'll provide an answer. Thank you all once more. We really appreciate your time. But before we go, can I have everyone's camera on, please? So we take a snapshot of today's participants. So please turn on your cameras, guys. Don't be shy. Want to get a quick recap? Unfortunately, we do not have enough time for a quick recap, because today's session, how quickly can you recap it? Yeah. I don't know, Beyonce, is that even possible with the time that has gone now? We might not really be able to recap, sorry, Sunday. But like we said, we're going to share the recording. So the recording will even be a more detailed recap for you to go through. But if you have any question about anything, just like we said, send an email or put a message in the chat box. All right, so I like that our cameras are on, and I'm so happy to see everyone. Hi, Uchenna. See, if your camera was on before, Bjorn wouldn't have been calling you Mr.
Sorry about that.
But it's all well and good. Bjorn, are you at the beach? He wishes. All right, so everyone, can we say cheese?
Cheese.
Okay. Say smart tech.
Smart tech.
Okay. Thank you once more, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. So tomorrow is another time, 10 o'clock. Oh, sorry, Bayo, you said you can't choose the camera where you are. That's fine. It's okay. Maybe another time. But tomorrow, 10 o'clock again. We hope you guys join us and come on time. And we'll try and make the most of it. At least we've done one page of a website today. So yeah, and from our end, we'll try to get you the domain names on time so you can start working on them, because you know that at the end of this program, we want to have websites for those SMEs. You understand? So thank you, everyone, and I wish you a lovely remaining part of your day. Please stay safe wherever you are, and don't forget there's coronavirus. James, I like that you're still wearing your mask. Thank you for that. But yes, take care, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.